The upcoming video is a terrible Let's Play and it's a terrible commentary playthrough, but its purpose is purely to recommend this absolutely fantastic game, Thief 2, to you all. I've found that words really can't do the subtleties of this game justice, so hopefully a playthrough of one of the coolest levels in the game, with an avid fan explaining all of the decision making that this game excels at, will do the trick. Most of the unique fun of this game is making logical decisions to solve logical problems. Every map is laid out like a real building might be, and so you aren't really using the game logic side of your brain to succeed. More so, the real-life logic side for the vast majority of your experience, which, in my book, makes it 100 times more immersive than even the shiniest graphics and the most advanced AI tends to pull off. Plus, for those of you who aren't on the Discord, you'll get to see me in a much more casual setting, hearing how I tend to sound when I'm actually playing a game. Don't worry, this isn't going to be a new trend for me. There's going to be another essay up next week like usual, but I really need to do something more laid back after working on the Planescape Torment video for an entire month. So without further ado, let's get started.
I'm not surprised that the mechanists aren't the saints they claim to be. No one in the city is. But at least they've done me the favor of recording the incriminating meeting they had with Sheriff Truart. That recording should let me exert a little pressure on Truart to find out who hired him to kill me. But I'll have to acquire it first. The mechanists put the recording in a safety deposit box earlier today, but since I have a copy of the key, I should be able to open it. It didn't take much to learn that the mechanists do all their banking with First City Bank and Trust, one of the wealthiest establishments in town, catering to the financial needs of the city's upper crust. The bank vault is a huge tower, and I'm sure the safety deposit boxes are inside. Once inside the bank, I'll visit the Hall of Records and do a little snooping to find out which box belongs to the mechanists. Then I'll need to find a way to get inside the vault itself, grab the recording, and get out. No doubt the bank is well protected by mechanist security machines, in addition to the usual guard contingent. Risky, but you know I've always wanted a good enough excuse to break into First City Bank and Trust. But I always thought I'd be taking the risk just for the money.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing something very different for my channel. We're going to be playing through a Thief 2 level and commentating over it to sort of explain why I love this game so much. So before I get into my intro, let's go ahead and buy some of the things that will be helping us on our way. Starting of course with water arrows. These will help me put out torches. Very handy. Healing potion just for the fall damage I'll inevitably have to take. And some flash bombs in case I mess up. And for good measure, might as well go ahead and pick up another broadhead arrow. So, in case you're wondering why this is something totally different from my normal videos, I was looking at my recent Thief 2 videos, well not my recent ones, all of them as a matter of fact, and I realized that it's pretty hard to write about this game and sort of explain why it's so magical. Because, as I said in my first video on it, and probably my second one, the entire experience is dependent on subtlety. And as a result, it's sort of the sort of thing where you have to see it to really understand what I'm on about when I'm talking about this game's brilliance. So I figured, rather than try and put something which I've failed 2 times in a row now to put to words, I will be simply playing through the game. This is one of my favorite levels, the First City Bank and Trust. And there's multiple ways into this bank, but my personal favorite is the roof. And you'll see why in a second. These lockpicks, as I've mentioned before, are one of the coolest things in this game. No visual indication other than that doorknob and the beautiful rattling of the lock. So, I'm going to go ahead and quick save because this can be tricky. This is why this is my favorite way to get in. These rope arrows, like everything else in this game, really make you feel like a thief. And the sound design is another part of that beautiful subtlety. already. You can hear these guards talking. I can hear exactly where they're coming from. This guy heard that arrow land, I'll have to be careful. And usually at the bottom of your HUD you have a light gem and a health bar. The light gem indicating how well hidden you are. So for instance, if I were to stand in those shadows, I'd be completely invisible essentially. But if I were to stand right there, for instance, I'd be in that light, so they'd be able to see me. And the light gem indicates that, but once you have a general feel for the game, I think it's more immersive if you turn that off. Same goes for the health bar. Because if you're playing this game right, you're not taking much damage. So, let's keep creeping along this way. One more ought to do it. So once I get down there, I'm going to pull out my map and my compass and get to planning my route through this bank. Okay, so right now I'm facing northward in this meeting room. Meeting hall. And I'm on the second floor since I'm on this balcony, so... Alright, the Hall of Records is just up ahead. I have to get in here so I can figure out which one of these safety deposit boxes has the recording I'm looking for. Just a moment. Had my headphones on backwards. So, right up ahead, you can see the security camera. If I trigger this...
Some people in the city are too rich for their own good. Lucky they have me to give them a hand.
Oh, I love you, Garrett. Anyways, if I trigger this, this right here will activate and start shooting shurikens at me, which is obviously a bad thing, and the alarm will go off, alerting guards to that location. So, in the Hall of Records, this looks like what I need. Okay, Mechanist storage box number 11. Maybe my key will work for that secondary finance box too, that'd be nice. Always nice to take the Mechanist down a peg. Gonna quick save. So anyways, to explain my objective, if you weren't paying attention for that cutscene, I'm here to get some incriminating evidence against Sheriff Truart, which was captured by the Mechanist leader, Karis. And I'm going to use this to blackmail him. So as you saw there, I planned my route from this meeting hall to the Hall of Records. It wasn't exactly complicated, but this planning is a huge part of what makes this game so almost fulfilling to play. You really feel like you've accomplished something when you get through a level, and that's because, I mean, I have the run of this entire bank at my disposal, and it's really up to me how I'm going to traverse this place, and whether or not I succeed or fail is largely dependent on the plan I make. So, I have to get to this vault, which means heading westward. I'm on the second floor now, so I have to get down to the first floor at some point. I think I'm going to... Let's see, I think I'll move through this great hall, and then try to get across in this guard room and use this staircase, and that'll get me down to the floor that the vault is on. So, westward. Gonna wait for my opportunity here and quick save. You might notice I'm running diagonally during moments like this. That is because, like many classic games, many classic first-person games at least, running diagonally, holding the A and the D key in this instance, is actually faster, well, W and A, is actually faster than running forward. And that sounds like a bad thing, which, yes, it is, but it gives you a whole lot of control over your movement speed that you don't find in many other games. Something like Splinter Cell Chaos Theory shows the option of linking your movement speed to scrolling the wheel, so if I wanted to walk slower, I would scroll the wheel down some, and that would slow my character's speed, which is a good option, but I prefer the more dynamic approach that you get here just with this diagonal running, because, like Chaos Theory, movement speed plays a huge factor here. You'll notice I'm running faster on these carpets than I am on this wooden floor. And that's because you make much less sound on carpet, logically. This sound design is also a huge part of what makes this game great. I'm able to more or less hear exactly where this robot is. Those robots use the voice of Karis, the mechanist leader, and he has an incredibly creepy voice, which just makes sneaking through these halls all the better and all the spookier. The normal guards, you know, intentionally come off as very stupid with their voice, sounding just dopey as all hell, and I love it. But these robots show a totally different side of this game, a pretty terrifying side, honestly. Especially knowing that intruder. Is that spotted? These guys don't pose a direct threat, but they will. Yep. They'll warn others. So I'm going to use my water arrows on these coolant tanks to disable them. Oh, camera spotted me. That was close. I don't think this one's seen me. This alert message is very long. It's actually pretty hard to tell if they've seen you or not, going solely off the alert message. So, don't know what that guard's doing. Yeah, I was thinking about dropping down here, getting down to the first floor, in order to make my trip to the vault a bit easier, but I think it'll be easier if I do this way, because I still have to cross through that guard room, and that's the real danger. Oh, cameras. Gonna use my water arrows to take these out, so I can pass by the cameras undetected. You're actually more visible if you have your weapons equipped, so something like the blackjack doesn't increase your visibility much, but a water arrow, or just a bow and arrow in general, definitely does. And now these cameras aren't able to see me. Perfect. Back to what I was saying about these controls and the walking diagonally. As unrealistic as it is to move faster when you walk diagonally, I think it does a great deal to help the immersion. Okay, I'm not sure which one of these doors is mine. West or north? West. Or north, actually, but there's a guard there in that west, or in this northern way. So I think I'll just try west. Now this is a guard room, so I'm sure I will find opposition in here, so I'm going to go ahead and quick save. If I fail, I'll be loading a quick save and editing out the failure, so you might see me jump from topic to topic a little bit whenever I quick save. Hopefully I won't fail though, we'll see. So back to my route planning. The map design in this game is very realistic. It's not player-centric, like something like Half-Life 2, for instance. So you're not using the game logic side of your brain to navigate these levels. You're using your, real-life logic, the same you use to navigate, well, a real person's house or a shopping mall or something. So I think with one of my rope arrows, I might be able to traverse this. I have moss arrows also, which will coat the floor and essentially carpet, making it silent for me to pass. I heard the arrow, but I guess it's not enough to aggro him. So let's get some moss out, just in case I don't make the jump. One more for safety. And the hitbox on this moss is bigger than you'd think, so I could pass over, like, between that one, for instance, without alerting guards. So, let's go ahead and quick save, because this is dangerous and stupid. Gonna use a noisemaker to try and draw the guards away from me. Beautiful. Gonna go ahead and throw another rope arrow up for my escape. Oh, gotta lockpick this. I will say, if you pick up this game based on this recommendation, I definitely recommend taking a good long look at your control scheme, because the default controls are pretty archaic. So, oh. 2 of them there, I'll have to remember that. Oh, you're stopping. I think I'm gonna try and pass. Oh, okay, good. Looks like they're just moving forward. Oh. Alright, it looks like that security camera's just watching the door. Oop. Shit, not good. Gotta get through here.
You are so dead, pal!
Yeah, gotta use a flash bomb. And knock him out. Not good at all. Okay, I disabled the alarm. Don't think any others are coming. I don't hear anyone else, so let's take a look at this vault.
The vault isn't going to open until that locking bar is out of the way.
Okay. Guess that means I gotta get to the basement. Let's see, let's get in here and plan my route out. So, to get to this basement... not exactly easy. This looks like my best bet, but if I can get outside, maybe that would make things easier. This looks like a balcony. I might be able to just jump off. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give that a try, which means passing through this guard room and then using this door on the far side, so I gotta go back the way I came. Now, as I said, the planning is a huge part of what makes this game fun, and it's actually really the main reason I decided to do this format for another recommendation for this game. I really do want to get it across to you guys that this game is fantastic, as almost slept on as it's become. Looks like that alarm had the adverse effect of messing with the AI in here, so I don't need to use another noisemaker, which is good. Took a little fall damage there. It's a long jump to make, actually. Much longer than those beams. Let's go ahead and save. So... oh. There's the door I need to get to. There's a lean forward function in this game that you can use to grab distant objects, which is very handy. Although I will say, after recently doing a no powers run of Dishonored 2, I really miss the ability to lean upwards, get on your tippy toes. Very handy. So again, this realistic map design is making everything I'm doing logical. Just to watch the game, you can understand the thoughts going through my head. Which is not exactly the case in many games, something like Half-Life 2, where your best hint on where to go next is where the light or the visual direction is guiding you. Okay, onto this balcony. Sounds like there's guards down there. I'm gonna use another one of my favorite objects in the game, the scouting orb.
See if it happens again.
So they heard it fall, but they won't actually get alerted just at the side of this thing. So let's see what these guys do. I might use a noisemaker arrow to draw them away. because I have to jump down, and that's going to make a lot of noise regardless of how I do it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Noisemaker.
Who's there? Get out here where I can see you.
Okay, that drew him away. This fall may very well kill me, so I think I should use this healing potion first. Yeah, that did a lot of damage. Okay, got away. Did I? Yeah. This light is not good. Yep, he saw me. It's another thing about this game, it absolutely brings out the perfectionist in you because Garrett is a professional. But it still allows for some failure here and there where necessary. In fact, I think that there's only one mission in this game where being cited as an immediate failure. And that's because you're trying to frame somebody, so you being seen at the quote-unquote crime scene would absolutely be detrimental to that. Now, I think that there's basement access on the other side of this bank if I follow these guards. Yeah, here's the roof archway I went through, so I'm almost back to where I spawned. So those flash bombs are sort of your get-out-of-jail-free card, as you saw, literally. I've got 4 left. You might remember I bought a few extras in the beginning there with the money from my last job because I knew I would need them. You might notice I have a sword, but I haven't pulled it out once until then, and that's not because Garrett cares about things like right or wrong, it's just because he's a professional. And professionals have standards. Goes into Garrett being a great character. I mean, if you know me, I'm a very empathetic player. I get choked up when a character dies, even if it's just a nameless NPC, but these guys, you know, you'd be pushing your luck to try and get me to empathize with them. But I can absolutely sympathize with Garrett, basically challenging himself to not kill anybody because he's better than that. It really fits in well with the player's mindset when they go on perfectionist runs in most games. Or should I say non-lethal runs, as you've already seen, this is not a perfectionist run. Guard spooked me there. Let's go here and wait for them to pass again. And the sort of stupidity of these guards, both in AI and writing and dialogue and voice actor and everything, really plays into this feeling that you're just this clever guy come to take down everybody a peg. Just makes it incredibly satisfying to steal those vases or piles of coins or keys off of people's backs. Everything about this game is incredibly satisfying. And that's again because, well, another part of that is because you have to make all your plans for yourself. When I go back into this bank, break this vault, and then eventually get out, that's all going to be my doing. I won't have been guided by an objective marker between pre-made stealth sections. If I want to ruin everything for myself and make this mission 10 times harder than it can be, or than it would otherwise be, that is entirely up to me. And if it happens, it's entirely my mistake. Essentially, it's me creeping around in this place for, you know, upwards of an hour sometimes, longer if it's your first run, and walking out feeling like a genius. This sly bandit, exactly like a thief would feel. Because what's the point of being a thief, if not liberation? Okay, yep. Good basement access. Gotta be careful on these floors. Stone floors are, as you would imagine, fairly loud to walk on. but nobody's trying to kill me yet, so... Plus I don't hear any guards, so I assume that there's nobody around here. Ooh. Waste not, want not. Interestingly, in the intro cutscene, as you saw, Garrett said he'd been looking for an excuse to break into this bank for years. He always thought the reason he would do it for the money, was for the money. But interestingly, this is one of the, if not the only mission in the game that doesn't have a minimum gold requirement. Which, those gold requirements get higher and higher based on the difficulty you're playing on. And I will say that while I like to play it on the hardest difficulty, a lot of the time you will be done with all of your objectives and still be running around the place scouring it for secrets to find all the gold you can. Which sorta sucks. But if that's not your cup of tea, you can just play on the second highest difficulty, for instance. Maintenance machines active, I assume that means robots. So you just saw one of those quick loads. I tripped the security right in front of the vault controls. It's actually only my second failure so far. The first was from... Oh. The first failure was from fall damage when I jumped from that balcony. I'm not going to take him out because he's going to block my path, and he hasn't actually spotted me yet. He's just doing a full scan to see if I'm anywhere nearby. Nah. Oh, never mind. Move along. So, in these dark hallways like this, and this sort of plays into what I was saying earlier about the guards being sort of dumb and fun to take down and peg as a result, they actually won't see you if you're in perfect darkness, even if you bump into them or they bump into you. They'll just walk right past, or at least look for you to no avail. But on the other side of that coin, while the guards are stupid and fun to mess with because they're so stupid sounding, these robots are absolutely horrifying. As I said earlier, they use Karis's voice, who is this very, very creepy... I always pictured him as a Hunchback of Notre Dame type character. You don't actually see him at any point in the game, you just see propagandic paintings of him portraying him as this beautiful 6-foot-tall Adonis, when in reality I'm sure he's this creepy hunchback old man who sees himself as a god. Another fun character to take down a peg, but that does not make these robots any less horrifying. And the way that they're so loud also plays into your best tool in the game, and that's sound. I might demonstrate this later if I find the time, but you can track an enemy with your eyes closed with how good the sound is in this game. I've done it a handful of times before, both in front of other people and just myself, and they've all said that, wow, you tracked them perfectly even though your eyes were closed. And that is how good the sound propagation is. It's not necessarily realistic, but it's utilitarian enough that I haven't seen it matched by any other game. The way it works is, say there was a robot in this room, I wouldn't hear him directly through the wall, I would hear him coming from this doorway. Quick save. Because the sound propagation mimics real life. And that sound travels through empty spaces rather than directly from the source to your ear. Which sounds like it would actually get in the way of understanding where a robot is. But, as the designer of this sound system said, it gives our brains, the way that sound propagates gives our brains information about our environment that we wouldn't otherwise have. So, say I heard sound coming from an archway, I would understand that both there's a room there and that there's an archway there, without having to see it. We have pretty powerful processors in our brains, and this game taps into that when it comes to the sound. And everything else for that matter. Okay, luckily these cameras can't look downward. Seems like a pretty fatal design flaw to me. but I'm not complaining. Besides, they activate so quickly once they've spotted you that
A weird contraption.
you'd be hard-pressed to get beneath them a lot of the time. So, let's see here. Cool. And looks like that's unlocked the vault. So now I just gotta get back in there, get to safety deposit box 11, and steal this audio recording. Gonna turn off this light, just because I'm a perfectionist. Unfortunately, this isn't actually linked to the camera, but as I said, just the light. Regardless, take that. As I mentioned earlier, the first game did have its creepy sounding enemies, but none of them were mechanical because this was before the Metal Age in this game's lore. They're instead spirits, zombies, ghosts, that sort of thing. Demons. Which actually is the weaker part of that game's design if you ask me. Because a lot of the time, the realistic and easy to fathom architecture of, say, a bank like this one, is sort of lost in exchange for crypts. And you get this sort of Indiana Jones feeling, bypassing ancient traps, which is very fun, but it doesn't hold a candle to being able to use the logical side of your brain to navigate an area like this. Although, as I say this basement is very maze-like. Although nonetheless, it makes sense to have these caverns for the tiny robots to travel through. Apparently they're maintaining something. As you can see, none of them have any idea I'm here, even though, well, I'm right next to them. This game has a perfect combination between readability, as with the light gem, or the fact that I know if I'm standing here they won't see me, and ambiguity. And that, as I said earlier, your ears are your greatest weapon, but they can be deceiving. Sometimes it'll be tricky to tell how close a guard is, or whether or not he'll turn the corner in time for you to finish a lockpicking, or anything like that. So I have no idea where I am right now. Let's see. No, the basement isn't even on the map. Makes sense. These hand-drawn maps that Garrett uses are fantastic. And again, they really add to the feeling of being a thief. Ooh, heard a guard come in. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Somebody walked in and I had to stop the recording for a moment, so it's been about an hour and a half and we're back. As I was saying, these hand-drawn maps are absolutely fantastic. It's this one actually isn't hand-drawn. It looks like Garrett's taken a normal map of the bank and then drawn on top of it in order to get the layout for the place, but half the maps, they don't even show a top-down view. It'll just be a picture of a tower detailing that the elevator's on the left. And you have to figure out the rest for yourself, which, again, is something I greatly appreciate. Anyways, I think... Oh, got a guard. Gonna have to get to this corner. Okay, we're good. Gonna wait for that guard to pass. Assuming he is coming my way. Yeah, in case anyone wasn't aware, I cannot do any audio recording when somebody's home. Which means, with my sister having recently moved back in, I sometimes have a lot of difficulty finding time. Close the door? Whew, that was close. Okay. I think we're just beneath the balcony that I climbed on top of last time. Let me see if this door is locked, then I'll know for sure. Yeah, okay. We're right beneath that balcony. Those guards I distracted with the noisemaker arrow should be on the other side of that door. Okay, on the carpet. Let's check the map. Yes, so I have to get through the guard room. That's going to be tricky. I think I'm going to try getting on up to that second floor again. Is that guard on the other side of the wall or not? It's hard to tell. Okay, looks like we're good. I got plenty of water arrows though, so I'm gonna go ahead and take out these torches for good measure. Do a quick save. Well, I tripped the security on my way out of the vault, so I'm gonna have to give this a second try. It's risky right there, because I only have one noisemaker left. Might get some undue attention on the... well, some very due, but unwanted attention on the way out. I guess we'll see. Nope. That right there is what I mean about this audio propagation. I knew they were coming before they came. Which is just awesome. Okay, let's be a bit more careful getting into this vault this time. Gonna hide behind this pillar.
Now I know I'm a master thief, waltzing right into a bank vault. Time to find the recording.
There's a second camera right there above me. Gonna have to be careful of that. Yeah, it's like right behind this pillar. This is tricky. The camera down below keeps spotting me. Gonna go ahead and quick save. Is this gonna see me? Ah, beautiful. If that saw me, I would definitely be screwed. Oof. Oh wait, there's my ladder. The elevator doesn't go up another floor. Really surprised that camera can't see me. Okay, I think we're in the clear now, at least for the cameras. So let's see, safety deposit key. And there's our evidence. Let's listen to it.
You need subjects for your servant project, and I can supply them. Vagabonds, street scum, prostitutes, those who will not be missed by anyone of consequence.
Beautiful. I will guarantee Truart's cooperation. Oof. That was close. Is this camera gonna see me? No, we're good. Let's get out of here. Very close. Okay, let's go. Awesome. So, now we just need to get out. I think they might be coming my way. Yep. Yeah, he's back. Maybe I can get past. We'll see.
I have noticed something.
Okay, let's give this a shot. Whew. It's those nail-biter moments like that when you gotta do something risky in a room full of people that could kill you in a split second. That's what I remember most when I play this game. Okay, I think that guard is beneath me. We are almost out of here. Seeing as we're on the final leg of this mission, I think you can already see how incredibly satisfying it is to do well in this game. More so than...
Hold it.
Oh boy. Spoke too soon.
You gave yourself away that time.
Yeah. I'll alert everyone, I don't care. That guard I stun bomb, I think he lost track of me. Go. It's these high-pace, well, high-tension, fast-paced escapes after hours of sneaking around. Just such a nice payoff to everything. Quick save, because I mess up these jumps a lot.
Hello? Anyone there?
Oh boy.
Come back here and fight!
Yeah, he heard me. He didn't see me, though.
Quiet now.
I guess maybe I could make these jumps without the rope arrows, but that added security. It's very handy, and I can retrieve the rope arrows, as you've seen, so... Ooh, forgot to mantle there. Just jumped straight up. That was dangerous. But that added security is much appreciated. So anyways, we're at the end of this mission. So I'm gonna go to the outro here, but I hope I've piqued your interest in this fantastic game. So again, I hope that this gameplay has piqued your interest. While I know that my commentary was less than great, I think that only by showing what a playthrough of a full mission looks like can I even begin to encapsulate the magic that this game is built on. As always, thanks for watching, and thanks especially for bearing with me over the last month, and this laid-back break video. I know that odds are only about 5 of you had even heard of Planescape Torment before my last video, but it was incredibly important to me that I do that video, and it really did take a month of my time to get everything together for it. But now that I've relaxed a bit and just casually talked about something I love for 40 minutes, I'm absolutely ready to get back on track. I've officially covered all of my top 10 games of all time, and I've gotta say that's kind of a daunting fact. It doesn't mean that I'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel from now on, but it does mean that I'm going to be surprising even myself with which games and films I start to draw a lot of meaning from. I'll probably be doing more mechanical analyses, such as my second video on Prey or my second video on Dishonored. but poetic analyses like last week's are always going to be my bread and butter. Anyways, this outro has gone on for much longer than I intended, so I'll see you on the Discord, and failing that, I'll see you next week.
My hand is copper, my brow is lead. Suffer me in a red patina, swept along in a molten flow to a sad eternity. My stride interrupted, my thoughts untimed. My tears are become drops of silver that shatter the crystalline fern. I plead the wind to sweep us away.
Nice poem.